Hey, hey, it's live around 9 with Kimmy. How awesome is this? I'm gonna share this while you guys are hopping on. Cool. All right. Do not own the rights to the song, but y'all know how I roll. Just like to start off my lives a little more fun. Hey Jack, how are you, love? Hey Bree, if you guys are tuning in, say hello. Let me know where you're from. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Also let me know where you guys are from. I have not one but two special guests tonight. And I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all. I have been dying to get this one person on a live for months. Hey Jackie, hey Nadine, for months. Like the value, and it's a man, of the value that this one brings, insane. I have to like move this over. Okay, cool. Totally insane. I have to share this just one more place, y'all. Give me a sec. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right. Without further ado, I'm just going to hop in it tonight, y'all. We're going to get into... First, I'm going to introduce this power couple. I forget power couple. I want to say resource couple. Like, one of them's like at the business savvy aspect, and the other one is just filled with unknown knowledge. It just blows my mind. So, I want to invite... I guess the, theme of tonight's live is, do we already have an endo-cannabinoid system, right? Keyword, cannabinoid, all right? So, let me invite them on right now. Here they come. I'm like so excited right now. All right, girl, mad at you. We'll just wait. Hey, Jen. Sonia.
Oh, wait, are we sideways? We want to turn this way, right?
There they are.
Hi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce to you the resource couple. This is Mr. and Mrs. Dominguez. You have Ari and Sonia in the house tonight.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
You guys have no idea. I've been trying to get Ari on a live for I don't even know, months, because his knowledge is insane. Okay, yeah, so it's insane. So I guess we're just gonna jump into it because you guys.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people hopping on right now.
I know. Keep it coming. Say hello. Tell us where you're from. Go nuts, and then don't forget, you guys. Post any questions you want. This is like a Q&A tonight. Really, you get to ask this resource couple any question that you want, right? Adi, I'm gonna pick your brain. So let me pick your brain, and then if I don't ask, the known questions, so hopefully I get all the questions out of the way. But if you have one at any time, feel free, guys, to ask away. All right. Biggest question that I get all the time is, what is hemp? And what's the difference between hemp and marijuana?
So hemp is a plant.
You got a couple. There we go. Give it,
Sorry,
Addie. Give it to me.
I'm camera shy.
Not tonight,
All right.
or not.
All right. So hemp is a plant that was once grown for its fibers, but it's also a cousin to the plant known as marijuana, which is also, they both fall under the cannabis. The cannabis sativa family, right? So that's their species or whatever. But there's different species within the cannabis sativa species, family or whatever. One is hemp and the other one is marijuana. Hemp was grown for its fibers at one point, and marijuana is the plant that people look for to get high with. You know what I'm saying? That comes from the old Indians that the natives that were here on the land. But hemp was grown industrially around the U.S. Our George Washington, the first president, was known to grow hemp. He had hemp farms and stuff like that.
Field.
So hemp is nothing. It won't get you high. It's just a regular plant, but it has very strong fibers and also has very high concentrates of CBD, which is what everybody is looking for nowadays. Because it's the difference between the two is that hemp has high levels of CBD when it's grown naturally. Just like if marijuana is grown naturally, it has high levels of THC. It's opposite, and it'll have lower levels of CBD. And the hemp, I have the higher levels of the CBD and lower levels of the THC, and that's the difference.
So basically, if you want the health benefits without the high, you go to the CBD goodness.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And this has been around forever.
It's been around forever. I mean, it was legal to up to a certain point. It was only until when Nixon was president that they started to advocate against it. There was a power team, Ashlinger and Hearst, who advocated against marijuana. It was just a plant, like they had studies done on it, and even hemp and marijuana, all studies have been done. This plant, they know what this plant does and doesn't do, so
they just been hiding it all this time.
Exactly. I mean, when you can make money off of stuff that you make yourself, why, it's beneficial for them that way. You know what I'm saying? So but that's a different subject. That's
another live.
That's another live in the future. Another live in the future. All right.
But for the most part, it is a natural plant that you have to do nothing to alter it. You can just leave it the way it is, you know what I'm saying, unless you're trying to make oils, or you know what I'm saying, then you have to do different processes to get to what you want. But for the most part, they're natural plants. There's nothing, it's not like cocaine where you have to actually do a chemical process to get the drug that you want out of it. But if you go get the coca leaf, if you go to Peru, you need to put the coca leaf in your mouth to go up into the mountains.
Yeah.
So when you come home, you're gonna have to take a drug test afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So there's different plants do different things. It's just people aren't educated on what the plants do for them, and they depend on the educational system in order to get that education. But in this day and age, there's too much technology for you to be dumb about anything. You should be knowledgeable. You should be knowledgeable about everything and anything. You shouldn't be blind to nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. And they just I was actually, speaking of Google, I was actually checking out the 2014 Farm Bill, and there's like a petition right now. It's actually up for like Senate vote to take hemp out of the substance category, because they realize that, wow, it should have never been put there in the first place.
Well, I just found out that I think it was in 2004 that questions were asked directly to the DEA asking about hemp, and they said that hemp is not one of the plants under the category.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then there is no act to get hemp out of anything, but
it's already out.
It's already out, basically.
Yeah.
They're saying that there's nothing that, because hemp can't do anything. Yeah, it can't get you high or anything like that. It's just the knowledge that people think they have about the plant is why it's still illegal and
that
stuff.
Stigma behind the cannabis plant.
Yeah, because people hear cannabis and like, oh shit, not realizing that cannabis is the species, and there's other species. It's like humans, right? There's different species within the human race. You have different colors of different things. It's like flowers. You may have lilies, but you might have different colored lilies out there. You know what I'm saying? There's always different, always something different within a species, bugs, anything, people just don't look at it that way. You have to actually think outside the box. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to stuff like that, especially things that are natural, that come from the earth. You know what I mean? If supposedly we come from the earth, so if we come from the earth, why not use the things that come from the earth? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
100%. All right, y'all, I hope we answer that question. That's our number one question. Listen, he just stated presidents, guys. Like, only
presidents are growing that mess.
Yes. Only God knows this stuff. This is why I've been praying for him to get on my live.
So, well, supposedly, one other thing. Supposedly, George Washington's wooden teeth were made out of the hemp fibers.
It's so
So
funny
that's
to bring that up. I just covered that in my technology class.
So
Hemp fibers?
No, George Washington.
Oh, George Washington's teeth.
Yeah, supposedly they were made out of the hemp fibers.
I wouldn't put it
because
past
the
them.
hemp, the only fiber out there in the world that was created to replace hemp was nylon, and nylon was purposely created to replace that fiber because the fiber is so strong. Like the army used to use it to make rope.
Yeah.
You know, so if the U.S. Army used it to make rope, they took the seeds and gave it to birds as bird feed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know, like people really need to educate themselves on what things are and what things aren't. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I can't like I'm like speechless because the more I do research on it, the more like I'm blown away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what we're here for, guys. We're just here to deliver you guys the facts and the things that are out there and really educate you on the hemp plant and things like that. But this is like the big thing that I want to really ask because people have no idea their own bodies. You know what I mean? They really think our body, we just have like systems, right? But we're not taught this endo-cannabinoid system in school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're taught like, you know, respiratory system and all the other systems, but we have an endocannabinoid system in our bodies already, correct?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Right. So, and most
You have
people don't know-
receptors.
yeah, most people don't even know what that system like is in place for and like what it means and things like that. So, and like, how does CBD function in that system?
So the endocannabinoid system, first and foremost, so people understand what it is. There's a large medical definition for it, but in a nutshell, it's a messaging system. It sends messages from different parts of our body to the receptors and back to our brains to let us know what our bodies actually need to do. So, for instance, we concentrate more on the CBD1 and the CBD2 receptors because those are the receptors that get fed by CBD, by the hemp plant. So those are the ones we're going to focus on tonight, but we have receptors all over our body that take in different types of cannabinoids, and our bodies produce these different types of cannabinoids as well. What we find though in health, in holistic health, in medical health, is that our bodies become deficient in these receptors. Our endocannabinoid system is not producing enough cannabinoids to send those messages back and forth. And that's when things start to not work in our bodies, basically. So the CBD1 receptor, it controls our central nervous system. So that's your brain, your spinal column, and anything that's connected to it.
All right, I want to pause right there. So nervous system. So when you guys were taught nervous system in school, the teacher and me, right? Nobody ever explains that it's a CBD, CBD1. It's a receptor. You know,
yep.
Right? Okay, continue.
So then now the CBD2 is everything else. That's your peripheral nervous system. So that's your organs, you guys. That's your kidneys. That's your stomach. That's your pancreas. It's all of the other organs in your body, your lungs. And if those receptors are deficient, if they're empty, there's no way, and your body's not producing enough cannabinoids to keep them all filled, then your body's not sending any messages back and forth to your brain to tell your body to do things. So that's basically where the endocannabinoid system comes in when it comes to those two receptors. Now, like I said, there are more receptors in our body, and our body produces cannabinoids for them, but sometimes we're deficient and we need to fill those receptors.
It's just, hold on. It's just like when you go to the doctor, right? After a whole winter season, right?
Oh gosh,
you go to the doctor, right? And he says, "Oh, you're vitamin D deficient."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right? And he gives you vitamin D for you to
supplement your body.
Supplement your body. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you're deficient of CBD, you would need. But if a doctor's not taught that, though, if he's not taught that, how is he going to be able to diagnose that for you either?
He can't.
You know what I'm saying? He can't. You know what I mean? So he's going to go with the, oh, it's this, and that, and give you the medicines that they're taught to give you, instead of saying, well, you're CBD deficient, let me give you CBD, and maybe that'll clean your whole system up, you know? So
what happens is doctors are taught to treat your symptoms.
No, they're taught to diagnose.
No, yes. They only treat the symptom. They do not treat the core problem that you have.
I said it wrong. They're taught to. I said it wrong. They're not taught to cure.
Yes. There's no healing involved in medicine.
There's no healing.
They're
not taught to cure. They're just taught to help you cope with it or try things.
Treat your symptoms.
If you actually listen to your doctor, let's try this. Let's try that.
Guys, it's the practice of medicine for a reason.
Yeah, it's called the practice of medicine for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You're the test dummy standing in front of the doctor. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But if you're not taught these things, you'll just continually go get your pharmaceutical medicines and shit like that instead of trying the natural route towards it, you know?
Hey, Kimmy, I actually have, if you don't mind, me reading off a list of certain deficiencies that can be affected by cannabinoid deficiency.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I read them off?
Yeah.
So the cognitive process is one of them. So people are finding themselves where they can't focus. A lot of people that suffer from like a deficit in attention. I don't want to actually use a medical term because we don't do that.
We're not doctors, y'all.
Yeah, we're not doctors.
Yeah,
so anyone who suffers from any type of lack of focus or lack of attention could be a cannabinoid deficiency within your own body. Also, and this is a big one right now, and I don't even think people realize it, but fertility and pregnancy is huge. Your endo-cannabinoid system is huge when it comes to fertility and pregnancy, because if your hormones are already out of control, and if your body is not in line and functioning properly, your endocannabinoid system isn't functioning properly, it can lead to severe infertility or problems keeping a pregnancy.
Well, we all know I wasn't CBD deficient because I got pregnant like that.
Fertile Myrtle over here. Another one is your appetite. Some people find that, and you find this a lot with cannabis users, that they say, oh, I can't eat until, I take my medicine. And that's because of that receptor is empty. That receptor is totally empty. And it's not sending the message to your brain like, hello, I'm hungry, feed me, So CBD, that CBD2 receptor can get filled and send that message straight to your brain.
Wow.
A big one for us is pain and sensation.
And hold on, and all this, she's not telling anybody to go out there and smoke weed or anything like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? She's telling you, there's an alternative way to get your CBDs into your system.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And
just so y'all know this.
It's kind of like what you said before, babe. Like when you're taking in THC, you're gonna have a low CBD count on that.
Yeah.
When you're taking in CBDs, you have a low THC count. So it's doing the opposite for you on each plant. Another deficiency that's pretty prominent is your mood. People who have mood swings, people who suffer from depression and anxiety. It's huge. Those receptors in so many people are so deficient. Me being one of them, I suffer from major anxiety and depression at times. And it's all in my endocannabinoid system. It's all that deficiency that I'm not getting my receptors filled fast enough. Another one is memory. People say they can't remember things sometimes, and they're like, oh, I have to take my omegas.
I remember everything. Everything.
He's as sharp as an ox. Oh my God, you're shaking it. The last one I have is, and this one actually might, because I've had a lot of questions about this week. People asking me if CBD oil will conflict with their medication, their pharmaceutical medication that they're taking. And pharmacological mediating is huge with CBDs. There are people who have come off of being addicted to opiates by taking CBD oils.
Yeah, and it's all about finding the right number of drops for your body.
Right.
For
The right amount of milligrams per
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
in your body.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Once you can find the right balance, then
You're
it's all
home
about
free.
that. Right.
Yeah, it's all
Let me ask
about
you a
balance.
question. So, all right, we have this endo-cannabinoid system, right, in our bodies. We have CBD1, CBD2 receptors, all about the nervous system. Can we fill, you know, that if we're deficient in it, can we fill it like through the foods we eat? No, right?
No.
No.
What your diet is going to help you in other ways,
But not.
as far as like the vitamins that you have, but it does nothing to your endocannabinoid system.
No.
So the only way
Yeah.
to fill it is to actually
It's
get the hemp plant.
supplementation.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, you also got to remember this. You got to remember, like I said earlier, it was a natural plant that was around. So the natives that were here, they used it. You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
They every day. You know what I'm saying? These people lived forever. You know what I'm saying? The chiefs lived forever. You know what I mean? He was the main one passing around the peace pipe. You know what I mean? and they used the fibers. What do you think they got their clothes from? What do you think they got? You know what I'm saying?
Their teepees.
You know, some of the spears. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They didn't just use, you know, stone and
No,
stuff
they
like
used
that.
hemp.
They used hemp also. You know, these people they actually used the stuff. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about making money or anything like that. They were actually using it. It was a natural thing that grew all over abundantly because it's just a weed, like the weeds you pull out in your backyard. It just grew abundantly, and they used it, you know, and they were smart enough to know that that was one of the strongest fibers that they had in their possession.
They literally used the entire plant.
If you actually look up the quote from George Washington, it says, "Take the Indian hemp seed and grow it everywhere."
Yeah.
That's what his actual quote was. You know what I mean? And you can look that up anywhere. You know what I mean? So, and he actually had a hemp farm. It wasn't for him to get high or something like that.
No.
They were growing it industrially. You know what I mean?
Healing
So
for cultivating.
So this whole movement that's going on is not, for me, it's nothing new. We're just going back. We're going back and starting to take our resources back from where they come from Earth. You know what I mean? Instead of looking to big pharma for our medicines and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Now, big pharma, you know, that's kind of leads me into like my next question. Why choose? Well, you know, you mentioned like omega-3s and stuff like that. You can take supplements, but the absorption rate in supplements is like minuscule.
Yeah.
It's not really doing, you know.
Well, okay.
It's the type of supplementation that we take. When we take a vitamin D pill, for instance, because you know everybody's vitamin D deficient according to our blood work, right? And the scale that they use, that's been through so much process that by the time we receive it in a bottle, the amount of vitamin D that our body can absorb into it is so minuscule that we're going to continue to be vitamin D deficient.
Not only that, but you only have to stand outside for 5 minutes. It says if you want to get your vitamin D for the day, just stand outside in the sun for 5 minutes. You get your vitamin D for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why even supplement that when you have a source for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A natural source. Look at that. A natural source.
It's all about natural. All right. Well, this kind of leads into like my next question, where why choose CBD versus like big pharma?
Well, I think we kind of answered that already, right?
Yeah.
What we didn't say though is that a lot of the big pharma stuff gets people hooked, and a lot of our opiate addicts come from the big pharma industry.
Yep.
So yeah, why not use something that's not addictive, that doesn't get you high, you know what I'm saying, to help benefit you, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it's the only thing you should do, because yes, you do need your fruits and your vegetables, and all your vitamins, you know what I mean? But even when it comes to that, people don't even know that you're supposed to take certain things in at certain times of the day in order for your body to absorb it correctly. You know, so fruits and vegetables are supposed to be eaten in the morning. You know what I mean? So it could even be the same thing with your CBD. Maybe your CBDs need to be taken in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? So for your body to better absorb it. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that people need to look into for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done a lot of research. There's been a lot of things that happened in my life that made me want to go down these routes to educate myself. You know what I mean? And I've always been educated on marijuana ever since I was like 16 years old. I've always done that. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, that's another live. We'll tell our story in another live another day.
Yeah, actually, Adi and I are going to bring you in live and Sonia in the future about like doing your diet according to your blood type. That's going to be a whole nother live.
That's another one.
I mean,
that's a great one.
That's a great one. Yeah, next Sunday. All right,
next Sunday.
Oh my God, I love it.
But so, back to the big pharma thing. As far as choosing a supplement, a natural supplement like a CBD oil to supplement your endo-cannabinoid system over using something in big pharma to treat your symptom. We talked about treating symptoms like pain with an opiate. That's what you're going to get when you go to the doctor. If you say my back hurts, they're going to give you a muscle relaxer or a pain reliever. Even something as simple as acetaminophen is doing damage to your liver. That's not helping you, you know?
It's just Band-Aid.
So why not start the natural route before you start to use, any type of medicine, anything that's been man-made. You know what I'm saying? You should always go the natural route. Always remember that. I
was actually just reading an article earlier today about, and I think it was someone from our team actually posted it. It might have been Terry Hollis. She said something about, the article said something about a mutated cancer, a tumor in someone's body was completely like shrunk with using THC and CBD together, high concentrations of both. And it shrunk the tumor. The person did not do chemotherapy. They just did this natural therapy and it did that for them. Like, that's incredible. Something grown in the ground did that for them.
Listen, it was anything, it was placed on this earth to be used, as a resource. And
we wouldn't have an endocannabinoid system if it wasn't meant to be supplemented by what God put on this earth for us to use.
And another thing, don't believe us. Go look for it yourself.
Yeah, I love saying that.
Look it up.
Look it up. Google is a beautiful thing.
Check it out. Not even just Google, because people are like, oh, Google this, Google that. People, you think you're a Google pro. No, look it up. Look up what Forbes says. Look what this says. Look what the actual pharmaceutical companies are saying about it.
Look
you know
at
what I'm saying?
Look
at what the doctors are saying about
the American,
Look at what the medical associations are saying about it. You know what I'm saying? Go read it. Look for it yourself. You know what I mean?
Because your research.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Whatever. And don't go off of the first thing you read. Read 5 or 6 articles before you even try to even say, oh, I understand. You know what I mean? Read it. Look at it.
And for those of you guys that don't know, Sonia and I have been on we've been on the natural train for like a good 2-3 years now. Adi's been on this train since 16 years old, so we've done our research and we continue to do our research. It never ends. Every day we're coming out. So
we fall deeper and deeper down that rabbit hole every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I live in that rabbit hole.
Yeah, we have a whole house in that rabbit hole.
I live in that rabbit hole.
Oh my God, I love it. All right, so one more question I have for you guys. Huge question is always about concentration. Which one's best for me? Because I've actually seen companies out there with insane amount of mgs, which that'll be another live within itself. But yeah, we carry the 500 mg. And we carry the 750 mg, pure, of course. THC, so which one? Why would somebody get a 500 bottle versus getting a 750 bottle?
So, yeah, we get this question a lot, actually. And dosages, honestly, we can send you the chart for dosages. That's not an issue. But knowing which oil to buy is always it's always that gray area. I like to ask a lot of questions to people who are on this live right now. I see the names, who are my current customers. ask me all the time, Sonia, what should I order? Should I order the 500 milligram versus the 700 milligram? Should I get one with THC or one without? My answer is always this. If you suffer from anything in that CBD1 receptor, your mood, your cognitive process, right? All of that would be your CBD1. Anything that has to do with your anxieties or depression or anything like that, you're going to go with that 500 milligram. And you can go THC or without. And remember, CBDs with THC in them have a very low content of THC. And the ones that we personally use come below the legal limit of 0.3 milligrams. Okay, so
that's the federally legal limit, y'all.
That's the federally legal limit. And the one that I use comes below that. This one right here comes below that. So for me, now I take the 750. So if you're dealing with things in the CBD1 receptor and things in the CB2 receptor, your central nervous system, your peripheral nervous system, your pain in your legs, pain in your back, any other type of organs that are causing you discomfort, I'd go with the 750 milligram. And I'd go with the THC if you are not worried about having to get a drug test, because even though it comes below the legal limit, there's still that small chance it could come up in your urine in a urine test, and that's fine.
And we're going to be doing a live on that. I actually bought THC tests.
You bought drug tests?
I did. I did.
Cool.
So then I'm going to take the THC one just to show you guys live, and the one, THC free. I'm going to show you both, and we're going to see if it pops up.
I love that. I love that so much. But anything that has to do with pain, I 100% recommend that THC. Reason being, and I can go into that one a little bit deeper because he's more well versed in it, but you need the THC when it comes to pain. That is the receptor for pain.
Well, no, it's just like this. That's your Percocet. That's your Percocet right there. That's your what, I don't even know what these drugs these people take. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you,
we haven't taken a pharmaceutical drug in years.
I don't go to the doctor. Yeah. I don't get sick. You know what I'm saying? I don't go to the doctor. I paid for insurance for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's really.
It's just in case.
You guys are like Indians. I love it.
Yeah, truthfully. And really, that's what it is. It's that what's that other one that's called that was really popular that people were buying. That they were selling them in the streets and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The fucking drug,
the
Oxycontin. Yeah, there you go. That
those are huge.
Those things. You know what I'm saying? And where were the people getting those things from that they were selling out in the streets? You know what I'm saying? Talking about CBD. You know what I'm saying?
Doctors, pharmacists.
So come on. You know what I'm saying? I would go with something natural over something that's not natural at all. And if you want opiates, go buy the plant from Afghanistan. Go buy it.
Get it pure. I'm sure it's more.
Get it pure. Get it natural.
And take it that way. You know what I'm saying? Take it that way if you want it. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you shouldn't be taking anything that's chemically broken down.
Yeah. We are not recommending that you go out and buy opiates.
No, hell no. Hell no. I'm not.
We would rather you get the CBDs and fill those receptors.
Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes. But I'm just saying, if you're going to go the natural route, go the natural.
Go all natural.
Go all natural. You know?
Yeah.
You can't half-ass it.
No, definitely not.
No, because
why would you want to?
Yeah.
This is your body. This is your temple. Why would you want to put anything has chemicals into it?
Yeah.
But that's a totally different live as well, because it's all about your mentality. It's all about where you are.
Health and wellness is never going to go anywhere. People are paying more, and they're more into their body and things like that, and feeling good, getting their life back. They're more into it now than ever.
It's a huge trend right now.
$1 billion industry, because people want to live longer, and the older they get, they don't want to feel their age. They want to be able to get up and do things.
They want that fountain of youth.
They do.
Yeah, they want to feel good and good about themselves. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, your mom's watching.
Yeah,
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Ma.
All right, y'all. Well, I mean, if anybody has any questions, we've had a steady amount of people on. If you guys have any questions for Sonia,
Yeah, please.
go ahead, type them in the comments below. But we pretty much went over the frequently asked questions that we pretty much get asked on a daily basis. So go ahead, shoot that out now. If not, and you want more information on CBD, we have a educational group called the CBD Corner. It is just pure facts. Our job is to get you guys the facts. We have topics broken down by pains, as well as research and studies already done for you guys. It's right there to help you start getting your own facts. If you want into that group, please comment group below and we will hook you up. If you are looking to fulfill your receptors, your CBD 1 and 2 receptors, you guys can get in touch with the person that invited you to this live. You can reach out to Sonia and Ari, reach out to myself or anybody else that invited you here. We will be more than happy to point, guide, direct, and assist you so that you can get your life back. Become the movement, y'all. Bye-bye,
Yes,
Pharma. Hello, Hemp Train.
Choo-choo.
Sonia, Ari, it was about time I got you on this live.
I know, man. It took forever.
It took forever, but like you guys delivered. You delivered more facts than I ever could. So I am beyond grateful that you guys were able to hop on my live tonight. You guys know
Well, thank you for having us. Love you too, baby.
We're gonna schedule another live about the blood test, and we are gonna dive deeper for these
We're gonna take everyone down that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah. Guys, couple years, these two are gonna own their own like holistic center. Just wait. Waiting
for it. It's coming.
I'm gonna work for y'all.
What? You're our hemp mama? I don't think so.
I'm the hemp mama. I'll have my station in the. I love it. All right, guys. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you want to
love you too.
Type in group. If you want CBD oil or more information, you can get in touch with the person that invited you. Get in touch with me or Sonia, Adi, whoever floats your boat. All right. Have a great night, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Good night, guys.
Take care.